Hello, welcome to Eugene's Genealogy. In this video we're taking the raw AI conversions of your old family photographs and we're improving the colour in those. Special guest is my sister Imogen, whose Twitter and website details you will find below. For this process you begin in the photo app of Windows 10, which is free, it's available, and you simply go into adjustments, and as we've discussed in the remastering section, you simply boost the color. And you do this again and again and again by saving once you've boosted. So you boost, you save, then you reopen the file, and then at this stage you keep boosting until it's at a level of boosted color that you're happy with, and then Imogen will take over from me now in Lightroom.
Right, so you got the photo, so you can zoom in and out and stuff. I usually stay zoomed out to start off because you can see the whole thing, and then as you do it, zoom in to check because it can go so far. So along here you can edit everything. So sometimes I play around a bit first to see how it goes, so you can up the contrast a bit and stuff like that, but you're probably better to do the colour first. So you go down to colour mixer here, and what you want to start with is the saturation, and that's basically the same as the boost. So what you can do is you can bring out colour at a time.
Oh, brilliant.
So I don't know if it's made much difference there. So that you can see there, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
But that feels too yellow.
Yeah.
So then you can start to play, you could have it less, but then it becomes like black and white where there is yellow. So you can just play around. But then you can adjust how bright each colour is later, so you keep playing. Now the green, it might be nice to have some in because you've got the plants.
Plants, yeah.
But the blue, you've got these blue areas from...
But you got her dress as well.
But because there's blue, aqua blue, purple and magenta, then you can take out the aqua and maybe the blue and see what happens. And we'll go with it. So say I've brought them down, and then you can do it one by one as well, but it's better than if you do, you don't want to do hue either, you want to do luminance. So then it makes it bright or dark, basically. So like that red is darker, light. You can't, it isn't working as well, you know, once we boosted it. I don't see much difference. But I mean, there you can, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So there, you probably want it a little bit, if you want it lighter or darker. Maybe a little bit. Again, you play. You want it a bit darker so that the light isn't on their faces as much. Oh no, that's good. I like that. So by making it darker, you then bring all that in. So you just make it, so there you can see it's changing her dress, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Make it lighter, you get more of the spots, I think. So I think that's better. That doesn't make much difference. If it doesn't make much difference, there's probably no point because it might have done a small area somewhere. I'm just noticing there's yellow spots appearing on her body. So it might be that we have to change that. So then once you've played with that, you can then play with these a little bit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Obviously that's too light. You could do that. I don't know, what do you think? From there to there, if you do it slightly, it maybe works.
Yeah.
And the highlights is all the white, and obviously that brings it out. So if you make it darker, you can do it a bit less. But if you do it too much, it will make it pixelated. That's obviously too much. You do it a little bit, and then you can. I wouldn't really do this on an image like this, the blacks and whites, because it makes it because it's not good quality to start with. So if you look at it there now. And then the sharpening you can play with. And then if you do it too much, it becomes like that, which you don't want.
Oh, yeah, no.
But what you can then do is like reduce the noise like that. So if you do it loads, it obviously looks awful and painted. But if you do it a little bit, you can play it. So if you sharpen it and it goes grainy, you can then reduce it a bit. But again, doing it enough so it doesn't look fake. So that's why you have to keep looking at the image. At the moment, it's a bit much, I think. Original image, boost, and that.
We now improve our image further in Photoshop.
Right. So I reckon we start with their faces then. What you've got is, it's all right, but the white is very white on it. So you got to get the thing to a nice size so it's not too big it's going to go over the edge, but if it's too small it's going to end up darker. You've got that. You don't want it to be hard, you want it to be as soft as possible, so that goes down to 0. And the opacity, I've got it at 23 at the moment. Obviously 100 is like that, which you don't want. You want it to be lower, so start maybe in 20s and then you can go up or down. So if you start about there. Then you use the colour picker, this one, to then get a bit of colour from the face. So I usually get like a darker bit to start off and try that, and then it creates the colour from there, and then you can start to paint. So immediately that's a bit light, isn't it? So then you undo that, make it a bit darker. I've gone right up there, and that's too dark really now, isn't it? Not bad actually, but it is too dark. It's a bit too much. So then we go down another 10. You got to keep playing, and it's not really a formula for one. That's a bit better. There's not really a formula for one thing because the images are all different. What I have found though is that it's good here, but then it's a bit big here. And you want to try and do it in one swoop, because say I do it here and then do it here, you then see it overlap. You see there's that dark bit. So you want to try and do it as one big bit. So we've got the opacity nice, but it's a bit slightly big, so I'll go down a little bit to be there. And then because it's gone down, the opacity then it usually comes up a bit darker, so take it down a little bit. And then just paint it in. And then you can then do little details. So there's a bit of white on his ear, so you could then just make it really small to get into there. And if you keep holding it up, you get it right, and then again make it lower, because if it's smaller it will end up darker. So you can just do that, and it just does that little bit, and you could do a little bit here as well. It's not then a huge impact, but I think it just adds that bit of colour to him. And then we'll do her. So it's the same thing. Get it to a size that seems about right. She's got a smaller head, so you want to make it a bit smaller probably. And colour picker, get a bit of dark from her skin. Opacity I'll put up a bit and test it out. So just try it out first, see how it looks. It doesn't have to be neat because you're just testing it. That maybe is a little bit different. So I'll go down slightly. Like that. Now for this one, notice I haven't done the neck yet, because then I'd be going over the shadow. If you go over the shadow, it then changes the colour of that, and it can look a bit funny. So then you're better to skip it and do that afterwards. So what you've got there then is their faces are not quite as dazzling. I might do a little bit now. Okay. That's their faces. You also, it's good to look for other skin. Now for these, it's not too bad because she's wearing tights. So it's alright, sometimes there's a hand or whatever you have to paint, but here there isn't. It's good to know that, like, contextually, that they're probably going to be wearing tights in those days. Then you just got to look for their clothes for anything. So he's got a bit of discolouring in some areas. So it's then looking at whether we can clean that up. Now, you can paint it, but it might be worth trying some of the spot healing things now. We'll try the spot healing first. Although I think the other one may be better. So all it is if you cover an area, it's going to match it to the other area. If you do it a little bit at a time, right, and that's not bad. You can see it's maybe changed it a bit too much. That's not as bad. The other one is this, the patch tool, right? What it is, you do a lasso around an area that's not right, and then basically drag it to a bit next to it, so it picks the colour from there, and then it gets darker. You see that?
Mm.
I think that's actually worked better there. So then you can just select areas. So what it kind of keeps the pattern, but just takes a bit of the colour away from it. So if it's then orange, I think that's alright. What do you reckon?
Yeah, good.
And again, there's a bit of white here, which is a bit, shouldn't really be there. So then you want it to match again, so maybe go down there. So if you went there, it would be too light. So you want to find the colour that matches it. So something like that. Again, if you see there, you can see a bit of an edge. So that's where you can then go back in with the spot healing and just sort of merge it in. So if there's any edges, you can, just so it doesn't look too fake. So his leg is then less over the top as colour. And the other thing here is this little waistcoat. So again, this has got more lines and things on it, so it's kind of hard. I might actually add a bit of colour to this because it's very white. So if you again, you take the darker bit from here, and we'll play with it and see. It's up a bit. It's too dark. I think the thing here is it's a bit of a grey colour, isn't it? If I'll ever capture it. I'll try and do spot healing instead. See what that does. Oh, that's alright. Oh, put it out, get on that. Just this bit here. You sort of merge it in rather than, it's not as obvious. The other thing that I'm noticing is there's a bit of yellow in here. Again, you can try this. So the patch might work, but because it's patterned, it might not. So I'll just try it and see what happens here. But yeah, I think that has. The difficulty is that it's going to copy the pattern, you see, and that's what you don't want. So what you might have to do then is just paint it. And you don't want to paint the whole thing, so what's best to do is get the white from here and put a few white spots in it to try and bring it back up like that, and get the opacity up quite a bit more because it's small. And you can't do it for everything, but if you do it in certain areas, it should brighten it up a little bit, and then when you zoom out you have to check how it's done. But it's quite good when it's pixelated in a way, because you can then just follow where the pixels are. It's not huge, but it's enough that, you know, the small details, if you do all of those little details for everything, it makes it better overall. You don't have to click every dot, but because it's so minute. Right. So that's a little bit better now. So you can still see there's yellow, but the dots aren't. If you compared it, you'd see the difference. So I'm quite happy with them two as the colours and things. So now I guess the thing is to clean it up